What is going on, guys? This is part 2, Epiphone Adam Jones art series, Veil of Bees. Just wanted to reply to some comments and some things that I've seen posted on the internet about this guitar. Number one, I made a joke in the first video about these things being made by robots, and people took that out of context. I know that they don't have robots building these things. They'd probably be a lot better quality if they were. But I think everybody knows that these Chinese-made Epiphones are made by 9 to 12-year-old underage Chinese girls that are underage laborers. Let's just leave it at that. So anyway, they're made in a soccer ball plant. But let's get into the other comments. I had a guy that made a comment that, for that kind of money, you should save money and buy the new 59 Epiphone. I went to 2 different guitar centers yesterday, and I specifically looked at the Epiphones to see the pricing and what they came with. And I looked at that 59. It's got a terrible paint job on it. Of course, it's not set up like most Epiphones that are made in China. And it's got this, fake flame top that's no gloss to it. And it's just not a very pretty guitar. Not to mention it didn't have really anything special about it. I mean, to me, it looked like a normal Les Paul with a crappier paint job on it. And you really think I should pay $900 for that? No, I don't think so. Look at the paint job on this thing, by the way. It's even got the silver burst on the sides of the guitars. Look at that. Just awesome. Awesome paint job. This one also comes with the Seymour Duncan in the bridge. I mean, just the fact that it is a Norland era Les Paul custom. And I know a couple people don't really get that because they don't know much about late 70s Les Pauls. Adam Jones's #1 guitar is a 79 Les Paul custom. That's what this thing is, supposed to be a copy of. So what you got, let's see if I can break it down for some of you guys. The neck angle on this thing, look how even it is with the body of the guitar. It's not cocked back like a normal Les Paul, like you would see a newer Les Paul. Like I've got a 1988 Les Paul, and the neck cocks way back, and you'll actually see that the bridge has to be set up higher to compensate with that neck angle. So this has got the Norland era late 70s neck angle to it. It's also got the Norland era late 70s neck. I've heard a lot of people say, well, it's just the 1960s. Well, no, it's not. That's all you've ever played. But the 1960s and the 1970s have very similar necks. To me, the 70s feel a little bit wider and flatter. But this guitar is definitely a Norland era late 70s spec. And it feels very late 70s. To compare, this is my 1979 Gibson Les Paul Standard. They feel really, really similar. This one's about to get some new pickups put in. I've got a set of Seymour Duncan with the nickel covers. Just kind of make it look a little bit more factory and original. But back to this bad boy. So I'm looking at some of these Epiphones, and they're $800–900. Not to mention, they don't have these Norland era, 1970s specs. They don't have a Seymour Duncan in them. A lot of little bitty things. They don't have the chrome switch tip. They don't have the little nubs on the pots. They don't have CTS pots in them like this one does. Bridge on this is great. Everybody wants to make a big deal about this art piece on the back of it. Like that is the reason it's $12.99. It's not. If this was not on the back of this guitar would still be $1,299. The new Matt Heffy Les Pauls are like $12.99, and they are nowhere near the quality of this guitar. I actually played one yesterday at Guitar Center. Horrible, terrible, straight out of the box. Just a terrible guitar. Now this one, is like I said in my other video, all these things come not set up, which is, like I said, is kind of a scary thing. You don't know if this thing's got a high fret on it. You don't know if it's got a nut that's not level, because nobody's setting it up to check anything. Now, I have seen a couple of guys that have posted some comments. They got their Sweetwater. They got their some Willy Wonka music in New Mexico, and they set up all their guitars. That's great. But, 90% of these places, they don't set up anything. So 90% of these people that are buying a Chinese Epiphone are either having to set the thing up themselves or take it to somebody to have them set it up. Because, these mom and pop stores will do it for you. Sweetwater claims they do. I've never got a guitar from Sweetwater that was set up worth a damn. But that's just me. But, I mean, for the specs you're getting on this thing, definitely worth $12.99. Like I said, some of these just plain Jane, gimmicky Epiphones they're putting out there, like that 59 right now is, $900. It comes with a decent case, but it doesn't come with like one of these protector cases. Look at this thing. I mean, that is pretty much a modern day chainsaw case. $250, $300 case. So if you take that off the guitar, you got this guitar is $1,000. You take the pickup out of it, it's an $800 guitar. I mean, you're getting right there in that exact same range as a normal Epiphone Les Paul. They're $800. So yeah, I mean, you're getting you're having to pay $400 more for this one, but you're getting what you pay for. You're getting $400 more shit on it. I don't know why people can't understand that. And yeah, I did see something at Guitar Center yesterday. Somebody said, well, you can just buy a Gibson, for that kind of money. You're not going to buy a decent Gibson for $1,300. And I think I said that in my first video. I did see a 60s neck Les Paul Standard. I think it was a 2000 model that was pretty clean at Guitar Center in Pineville, North Carolina yesterday for about $1,700. And it was a pretty decent guitar. So yeah, I mean, you could spend, extra $500, $800 and get a used Standard. That's completely up to you. It's completely your business. But are you wanting that, or are you wanting the hottest thing that just came out? It's I'd rather have this, to be honest with you. Yeah, and then I had another guy leave a comment that said, why don't you spend another $1,000 get the Adam Jones Les Paul Standard? Number one, Adam Jones don't play a Les Paul Standard. That's just a gimmick thing for guys like you to go out and buy. The other thing is, the thing is like $2,700 or $3,000 or something like that. So it's a lot more than $1,000, buddy. It's like $2,000 more than this thing, or almost $2,000 more. So I could buy 2 more of these for that. So why would I do that? But yeah, some of the comments you see out there that are kind of silly. Yeah, there are people out there trying to sell these on Reverb for $2,000. Don't blame them whatsoever. If I sell guitars on Reverb all the time, and if I can get a certain profit margin on a guitar, it ain't staying at my house. I got a couple guitars that I keep. By the way, some people ask me what the skull scarf is back there. I use that to cover up my guitars in the stand to keep them from getting dusty and getting grimy, and it works, believe it or not. And it looks kind of cool. So, but yeah, man, just wanted to reply to some comments. Yes, we know they're not made by robots. Calm down. I'm sure that they've got fine people over there in China that make these. Unfortunately, they don't have a QC department. Like I said, when I got this one, the input jack was completely jacked up on it, and you couldn't even plug a jack into it. Couldn't even plug a cord into it. So this guitar was never plugged in when they got done with it. So I'm sure that when they're doing all the wiring and everything in it, they say, okay, this wiring's perfect, so there's really no reason to check it. But you never know. You can have a bad wire, you can have a bad pot, you can have a bad pickup, but yeah, it was never plugged up. So yeah, just wanted to make a part 2, add some more info, some more opinions on it. The people that are talking about it being too much money, it's $12.99. Most of these Epiphones are $800-900 now. If you want a decent one, I was looking at guitars yesterday. A decent Kramer was $500. A decent Epiphone was $700-800. A decent Schecter made in Indonesia was $800-900. So I think this is a pretty good guitar for the money. Just wanted to reply to some of the comments. Hope you guys are having a great day. And like I said, 70s spec Northern era style guitar, just like this one. Plays very similar. No complaints. See ya.